Good morning. So, today we're going to be talking about wool of the Andes worsted. This is a fantastic workhorse yarn. It is 100% wool. It is very cheap, very accessible. I'm not a big fan. I buy it and I have it because I want small amounts of colors for specifically the whales and maybe like a stripe here and there for some small items. But if I had the option to get some of my other more preferred yarns in smaller skeins in a 50-gram skein of yarn or even a little bit smaller in worsted, I would prefer that than this because this to me feels very scratchy. It feels very dry. If I knew how to look into hydrating and softening a wool, 100% wool yarn, I completely would, and that would potentially transform this yarn. I currently don't have any knowledge on how to do any kind of that stuff, either after the toy is finished or when it's still in the raw skein form. I have no idea how to do any of that. I haven't researched it. But as it stands, I am not a gigantic fan of this. This is Peruvian Highland wool. It feels softer on the inside of the whale than it does on the outside. So maybe if you're making this up for like mittens or something, it would potentially feel softer against your skin than it would on the outside. Um, that said, I don't think I would get like mittens or socks out of this. I think that any kind of like pine needles or any kind of detritus outside from plants will just embed itself in this wool and you'll never get it out. However, if you're using this for something else that's functional, like a coaster to put your cup on or a pan holder to put your hot pot on your counter, or even like a rug or a chamois to like wash or dry something down, I think it would be better as a functional thing. A basket, I think it would be a better functional yarn. I don't believe it is a garment or toy yarn. That's not to say it cannot be used in toys. Like I said before, if I have a small amount of it, I can put it in with my striping of like one single crochet row can make a fantastic stripe. And because it's just a single crochet row with two other yarns on the either side of it, that helps kind of mask the scratchiness of this yarn. Again, if there was a way to hydrate this, I think it would help. The other thing that I noticed is that it has a strong wool smell. I like the smell of wool, so that doesn't bother me, but it does have a strong smell. And it is more scratchy after being worked up. I don't know how to explain this. When it's in the skein, it still feels like dry and scratchy to me, but after it's been worked up, especially on the exterior of the toy, it almost feels like hay and like straw. Like it's just lacking hydration, which makes me think that it would be a great functional yarn like a coaster or a basket or something like that. I would not do like a cup cozy, but I would do like a purse kind of thing. Like, how much are you going to physically be touching this with your hand? If it's a cup cozy, you're going to be touching it with your hand a lot. Whereas if it's a coaster, you are not touching it basically ever. That's how I think of this yarn. It is very cheap. It is very affordable. Sometimes it's like $2 or $3 online. So you can get a lot of colors for a small dollar value. Um, if you're looking to try 100% wool, I would not recommend this as a yarn to try because I think it would give you an immediate negative impression of wool. A lot of people who are not really educated on wool as a whole just think of it as this dry, scratchy thing. And this totally fits that stereotype. And that is a shame because if you look at other things like the Cascade 220, especially in like the pale colors like white, that is so hydrated. That is so soft. That is just, it's like butter compared to this. This is straw and that is butter. And they're both 100% wool. It's just how they are processed and how they are treated. But I do believe this yarn has a place in your house, not necessarily on your garment, on your body. All right. Bye.